Okay, guys, let's talk about a couple of quarterbacks that people might be a bit concerned about right now. A couple of stud quarterbacks. Are they? Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen has now, let's see, his last 4 games, 21.6, 24.8, 21.6, and now 14.6 fantasy points in 6-point per passing touchdown leagues. Lamar Jackson, meanwhile, has scored fewer than 20 fantasy points in 6 of his last 7 games. That is crazy. Are you guys worried about Lamar Jackson and or Josh Allen?
I can't be worried about Josh Allen. This was a weird week for Buffalo. They only practiced one day. They looked way out of sync early on against Cleveland, and then they kicked it up a notch, and he looked pretty good. He commanding the offense. He just didn't have crazy good fantasy numbers. You can't really pin it on the elbow. He threw more deep passes, deep targets this week than he did last week. I'm gonna start him. He's a must-start quarterback against Detroit on Thanksgiving. I might have some reservations if he has a bad game again then, because he's got the Patriots the week after that. But I'm okay starting him, and I'm mostly okay with Lamar Jackson. But the fact that I'm mostly okay is still a down arrow. Lamar Jackson is supposed to be a weekly must-start, no doubt about it, contender to get you 30 to 40 fantasy points. He hasn't been doing it. And I haven't taken a close enough look to realize what's going on. I didn't pay that much attention to the game today, but I did see the final stats, and there were moments where he was just making some not great plays. He's not running as much as he used to. So that could probably be an issue too. And he hurt one of his offensive linemen. Ronnie Stanley could be out because of him falling on Stanley's leg. Look, I think if you've got Lamar Jackson, it's not a bad idea to just keep an eye on what's out there at quarterback in case things do get ugly.
Yeah. Heath, what about you? Allen, Jackson, any major concerns here?
I mean, if I wanted to be a troll, I could say, he had 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions in his last 2 games. Josh Allen did 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in his last 3 games. And so they turned him into a game manager today. They ran the ball 33 times, only threw it 27 times, and they won. So they might want to continue down that path against a Detroit Lions team they can probably beat doing that way.
But you wouldn't do that. You're not a troll.
Right. I think it's interesting that the low pass volume in this game, and he's now 218 or fewer passing yards in 3 of his last 4 games. And in those 4 games, he has 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That Dave mentioned Lamar Jackson not running as much. That might be the key for Josh Allen until he's 100% or until this little decision-making glitch gets fixed, is how much is he going to run? And I think that probably, from the indications we've seen this year, depends on how competitive the other team is.
He had run a lot, though, in the previous 3 games.
Right. They'd had some more competitive games, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or behind. Like, that's what I'm saying.
They lost 2 of them, yeah.
I think if they're behind or they have to go score, then they don't hold back the reins quite as much. But you can't be an NFL executive or coach or even fan of the Bills and see Josh Allen and the way he behaves when he's running in the open field and want him to run all the time.
Yeah,
That's
well,
bad.
the interceptions in the previous 3 games, I thought, basically told the story about his struggles, because he threw 6 interceptions in his previous 3 games, and 4 of them were inside the 10-yard line, and 3 of them were inside the 1-yard line. 2 of them were in the end zone. So those easily could have been touchdowns. They turned into interceptions, and those are 8-point swings. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about this at all. This game just kind of felt like a bad game.
Dave, the last 2 weeks, and I don't know, this might be asking too much in a live setting, but has the Bills' run pass rate in the red zone changed? Because Devin Singletary has 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
I can look it up and let you know. I'm going to need a minute or 2.
The quicker, slicker, looker, upper, Davey, do your thing. All right, Lamar Jackson. I mean, all the rates are down, too. Everything's bad about Lamar Jackson right now. Completion percentage, yards per attempt, the rushing.
Well, his number 1 wide receiver is Demarcus Robinson.
Okay, whatever it is. You are such a Lamar Jackson defender. You will never criticize Lamar Jackson, ever.
You know why that is? Because I have to balance you out.
No,
because for the majority of Lamar Jackson's career, you've been lower on him than what he's actually been. And I just go against what you do.
Fine. You're not a troll. But let's just be realistic. He doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. He's got Mark Andrews. That's great. Is he still a must start?
I think the landscape at quarterback probably means that he is. I agree that if quarterback was like it has been the years prior to this one, then probably not.
Oh, well, I didn't say that, but okay.
No, I think that's what I would agree that like the way he's performing is not what we would expect from a must-start quarterback. I still think his upside on a weekly basis is too high. I'm not going to be able to sit him, and there's not even 10 good quarterbacks.